Greg Davidson. I'm CEO, Chief Executive Officer, albeit I probably perform a number of roles, being a typical management IT consulting firm that's got about 80 odd people, and I'd perform probably the major functions for the CFO role, which is probably why the interest of coming to the CFO Summit. My background, strangely enough, is IT, but very soon after I did my IT degree, I got sick of being asked by CFOs and financial controllers, how can you tell me about how to run my financial systems and design my chart of accounts and you're not an accountant? So I went and did my accounting degree and said, well, I'm an accountant now. And that's probably held me in good stead throughout my whole business career. Obviously working with management to improve the bottom line, assisting management to help balance entrepreneurial risks and sales egos. A lot of really entrepreneurial people and sales-driven people with huge egos, and let's face it, most of the successful ones have got huge egos. Don't like to be told what to do, don't like to be micromanaged, but until you can introduce that culture in place, there is a bit of that, and usually that creates problems. They have to have a healthy relationship with basically all stakeholders throughout the business, and make them recognise that they're introducing that financial culture for a reason that makes their careers more stable, the business more stable, the business more profitable, and it creates a lot of opportunities for everybody, because there's no point in having huge sales egos and getting a whole heap of extra revenue when it's not profitable. I remember many of my assignments, probably especially relevant in today's age, in a retail game where we've done business intelligence projects and analysed the data of large retailers who thought certain salespeople were doing a fantastic job, and their revenue streams were always 10 times that of other areas and selling other categories of products. But when you actually did financial analysis on it, the one that was selling 10 times less, the revenue volume was actually 10 times more profitable. But in the systems that were previously in place in this particular large retailer, no one ever recognised that. So the ones with a high revenue stream were getting paid a lot more than the ones that were generating 10 times more profit. And introducing those sort of cultures, I think, are critical. And that a lot of how you do that depends on the size and the complexity of the organisation and how they filter in. Obviously, there's a lot of other performance things and corporate governance that they need to introduce, but all of that's really about creating a sensible financial culture so that everybody understands we're in business to make money, basically. I mean, there's a heap of other things that drive the success of CFOs. You know, some really good CFOs, depending on the nature of the business, again, are really good contract negotiators, and you wouldn't go into a contract negotiation for millions unless you took that CFO. And others are really good at, say, not-for-profit sector, helping them negotiate millions of dollars worth of government grants, which really keeps the business going. Others are really good at merger and acquisitions, and let's face it, merger and acquisitions for larger organisations is part of the corporate culture. The way to grow and keep getting shareholder return is keep acquiring other companies, because they can't just do it on organic growth alone. So the CFOs that are really good at managing that IPO, that M&A, merger and acquisition path, and I think ultimately it's the ones that can infiltrate into the board, into the executive management team, and be someone that's actively sought out because they want them involved in all those major processes, because they want to make sure that they're covering off and getting the best return possible, so that everybody's viewed as successful. And when you start to get that sort of feel between the management, the CFOs really start to make a difference.